The secrets of the pyramids of Giza. The desert stretches endlessly, a sea of golden sand, rippling under the weight of the sun. But in the distance, something rises. Three colossal shapes, sharp against the horizon. Silent, unmoving, timeless. The pyramids of Giza. For more than 4,000 years, they have stood here, defying both nature and time. Stone mountains carved not by wind nor by earth, but by human hands, or something far greater. The Great Pyramid of Khufu, the Pyramid of Khafre, and the Pyramid of Menkaure, three monuments that have turned the desert into a stage of eternal mystery. Stand before the Great Pyramid, and you are dwarfed. Its height once soared nearly 500 feet, taller than any structure on Earth for almost 4,000 years. Its base stretches longer than 13 football fields combined, and its weight, over 6 million tons of solid stone. Blocks so massive, some weigh as much as 80 tons. Yet somehow, more than 2 million of them were lifted, transported, and placed with precision so flawless that even a razor blade cannot slip between the seams. How? That single question echoes louder than the desert wind. How could ancient people, armed with nothing more than copper chisels and wooden sleds, accomplish what even our modern machines would struggle to replicate? How could they cut, move, and align stone so perfectly at such an unimaginable scale? Theories abound. Some imagine colossal ramps stretching miles into the desert. Others speak of pulleys, levers, and sheer brute strength. But none of these theories explain everything. No remains of such ramps have ever been discovered. No evidence of advanced lifting tools has been unearthed. And yet, the pyramids still stand. Even more baffling is their alignment. The pyramids are not scattered randomly across the plateau. They form a pattern, an exact reflection of the three stars of Orion's belt. And their sides? They align almost perfectly with the four cardinal directions, north, south, east, west, more precisely than most modern buildings constructed with GPS. How could they achieve such astronomical accuracy without telescopes, satellites, or compasses? Coincidence? Or something far more deliberate? Legends say the pyramids were tombs, eternal resting places for pharaohs who commanded gods and men. But step inside the Great Pyramid, and you will not find golden treasures. You will not find a body, only empty chambers and cold stone. If this was truly Khufu's tomb, then where is his mummy? Where is the wealth, the artifacts, the sacred objects meant to carry him into the afterlife? Why are these giants empty? Perhaps they were never meant to be tombs at all. What if they were something else? What if they were built not for the dead, but for the living? The ancient Egyptians believed the pharaoh was not just a king, but a bridge between earth and the heavens, a soul destined to rise among the stars. And so, some scholars believe the pyramids were not mere graves, but gateways, cosmic launch pads designed to send the pharaoh's spirit to Orion, the land of Osiris, god of the afterlife. But others whispered darker possibilities. The pyramids hold secrets older than Egypt itself, secrets of lost civilizations, or perhaps visitors not of this world. After all, how could a culture just emerging from the Stone Age create something so enduring, so precise, so seemingly impossible? The desert does not answer. It only stares back, silent and eternal, while the pyramids rise above the sands like questions carved in stone. And every night, as Orion's stars glow above the plateau, the giants seem to whisper to us. They whisper of forgotten knowledge, of hidden truths, of secrets buried deep within their chambers. Secrets that may change everything we think we know about human history. But what are these secrets? And who were the true builders? Were they slaves whipped into obedience, or a chosen brotherhood of master builders, guardians of forbidden knowledge? Or perhaps something else entirely? The answers may lie not outside, but within, inside the hidden passages and shadowed halls of the pyramids. Passages that even now conceal mysteries untouched for millennia. Because the pyramids are not just monuments, they are riddles. And riddles always hide something waiting to be solved. Next, we uncover the secrets of the builders, the masters of stone who left behind a mystery that refuses to die. The sun rises over Giza, the desert shimmers, and once again, the pyramids blaze with golden light, as if the gods themselves forged them. But behind their silent majesty lies the greatest question of all. Who truly built them? The story most of us know begins with Pharaoh Khufu, the ancient king who commanded thousands of workers to raise his eternal monument. Tens of thousands of men, sweating under the sun, hauling stone blocks day after day for decades. Historians tell us they were farmers and villagers, paid in bread, beer, and onions. Not slaves, but loyal workers, united to serve their king. It is a noble story. But when you stand in the shadow of the Great Pyramid, you feel its weight pressing down, not just its physical weight, but the weight of impossibility. 2 million blocks of stone. Each one is cut, shaped, and placed with uncanny precision. The joints are so tight that you cannot slip a knife between them. The base is perfectly level across a span of 13 acres.
And its alignment with true north is more exact than that of the modern Greenwich Observatory. How? How could villagers with copper chisels and wooden sleds achieve what even modern engineers struggle to explain? Did Khufu's builders possess knowledge we have since lost? Or did they inherit it from someone else? Theories are many. Some say massive ramps of mud brick were built, stretching for miles, but no remains of such colossal ramps have ever been found. Others suggest rolling logs, but the desert of Giza had no forests to provide such timber, and still others propose the Nile itself was harnessed, with canals built to float the stones near the site. Perhaps.
Its perimeter, divided by twice its height, equals pi. Its proportions reflect the golden ratio, the same ratio found in seashells, galaxies, and the very structure of life. Were these mere coincidences? Others whisper of Atlantis, a lost civilization drowned by the sea, leaving only fragments of wisdom behind. And still others dare to suggest the knowledge came from beyond the stars. Strange? Yes, but imagine this. 4,500 years ago, a people with no advanced tools, no machines, no modern science, created the most enduring monument in human history. And for millennia, it was the tallest structure on Earth. Does that sound like the work of villagers with ropes and copper chisels? Even the work camps tell a story. Excavations near Giza reveal that the workers lived not in squalor, but in organized cities with bakeries, breweries, and medical care. This was no army of slaves. It was a skilled, devoted workforce, perhaps guided by a select group of master builders, keepers of knowledge, guardians of craft passed down through generations. But from where did this craft come? Why does it appear suddenly in full perfection, only to fade after the pyramids were complete? Egypt never built anything like them again, as if the knowledge was used once and then lost forever. And this raises a chilling thought. What if the pyramids were not simply a triumph of Egyptian kingship, but a gift or a warning, a message carved into stone, meant to endure until we were ready to understand? Because the builders left behind something more than architecture. They left riddles, encoded in numbers and alignments, in stones heavier than anything human hands should have lifted. And they left us wondering, were they men, or were they something more? The truth may lie deeper still, beneath the layers of stone, inside chambers no eye has yet seen, sealed passages untouched for millennia, because the pyramids are not dead. They are alive with mystery. And every time a new scan, a new probe, a new expedition is made, the giants whisper back, "You are not ready for full truth." But one thing is certain, whoever built them was not only building for their time, they were building for eternity. And eternity still holds its breath, waiting for us to uncover what lies hidden in the shadows. Next, we descend into the darkness, into the secret chambers and forbidden depths where the forgotten truths of the pyramids may yet remain. The desert sun blinds the eyes, but step inside the Great Pyramid and the world changes. The air grows heavy, the light vanishes, and silence swallows everything. It is like walking into the chest of a giant, a stone titan that has been waiting for millennia. Each step echoes against walls that have not heard human voices for centuries. The torchlight flickers, painting shadows on passages so narrow they force the breath shallow. This is not a place of rest. It feels alive. First comes a descending passage, a steep, narrow tunnel plunging into the earth, leading to a rough, unfinished chamber deep beneath the pyramid. Why build such a chamber only to abandon it? Why carve so far into the rock only to leave it bare? Historians shrug, but the emptiness feels intentional, like a decoy, a distraction meant to mislead. Then, from the main passage, a sudden turn upward, the ascending passage. Here, the walls tighten, the climb steepens, and the silence deepens. It feels less like walking through stone and more like being drawn into a mystery. At last, the path opens into the grand gallery, a towering corridor, soaring upward with corbel walls that seem to stretch endlessly toward the unseen. It is vast, echoing, perfect, but what was it for? Some call it a staircase to heaven. Others, a resonant chamber built to harness sound and vibration. Stand within it, and your breath bounces back. Your heartbeat feels louder. Your footsteps echo like drums. It is not just a hallway. It is a design with purpose, but a purpose we no longer understand. Beyond the gallery lies the king's chamber, a room of smooth red granite, brought from Aswan hundreds of miles away. Each block weighs up to 70 tons. They were cut, transported, and lifted into place with impossible accuracy. And within this chamber lies a sarcophagus, an empty stone box. No inscriptions, no treasures, no body, only silence. Above it, stacked layer upon layer, massive granite beams form 5 hidden, relieving chambers. A design so advanced that it prevented the room from collapsing under crushing weight above. But why build so elaborate a structure for an empty box? And then there are the shafts. 2 narrow tunnels rise from the king's chamber, angling upward toward the sky. Not ventilation ducts, not random cuts, but deliberate alignments. One points to Orion's belt, the celestial home of Osiris. The other, to Sirius, the star of Isis, the gods of death and rebirth. Was the pyramid designed as a celestial machine? A stone gateway for the soul of the pharaoh to ascend into the heavens? Or something more? Deeper still, lies the Queen's chamber. Smaller, simpler, but here too, shafts stretch upward, concealed for centuries. When cameras were set inside, they revealed stone doors sealed with copper handles, doors leading to nowhere, or perhaps to somewhere we have not yet dared to open. What lies beyond them? Another chamber? Or something far stranger? Even today, scanning technology reveals voids within the pyramid, hidden cavities larger than a passenger plane, empty or filled with secrets the ancients did not wish us to find. The sands do not answer. They only hold their breath. And then the whispers grow darker. Some believe the chambers were not tombs at all, but machines. The Grand Gallery, a resonant hall. The King's Chamber, a pressure chamber. The shafts, conduits of energy. The entire pyramid, an instrument of power, built not to bury kings, but to harness the very force of the earth itself. It sounds like fantasy, yet traces of strange chemical compounds have been found on the stones. Salt crystals coat the walls as though water or something else once flowed through them. A design that hints not at death, but at energy. Was the Pyramid a power plant? An ancient machine that once lit the Nile Valley with energy drawn from the earth itself? Or was it something even more profound? The Egyptians spoke of Zep-Tepi, the first time. A golden age when gods walked among men, when wisdom was given to humanity before the flood of time swept it away. What if the pyramids were not built by Khufu at all, but inherited? Monuments from an earlier age, claimed by the pharaohs as their own? If true, then the builders may not have been Egyptians at all, but survivors of forgotten civilization, long erased from memory. And still, the pyramids keep their silence. Their walls are bare, no hieroglyphs, no carvings, no stories etched into their stones. Unlike the richly decorated tombs of the Valley of the Kings, the pyramids whisper nothing of their purpose. It is as though their creators wanted one thing: endurance, not words, not names, only stone. Stone that would outlast flood, fire, war, and time itself. But why? Why build a monument to endure eternity and say nothing about its purpose? Unless the purpose was not meant for them, but for us, for a future they knew would one day come. And now, after centuries of searching, probing, and questioning, we stand closer than ever. Scans reveal hidden chambers. Theories clash between tombs and power plants, astronomy and gods. But none can deny this. The pyramids are more than monuments. They are messages, messages carved in stone, waiting for us to understand. But if they are messages, what do they say? What truth lies hidden, still buried beneath the sands of Giza? In the final chapter, we uncover the last revelation, the secret beneath the sands, and the ultimate truth the pyramids have guarded for millennia. The pyramids stand in silence, but beneath their shadows, the desert whispers. For thousands of years, explorers, priests, and kings have searched the sands of Giza, convinced that the true secrets of the pyramids do not lie within their chambers, but below them. Legends tell of a hidden library, the Hall of Records, a vault buried deep beneath the paws of the Sphinx, said to contain scrolls and tablets from a time before history, a record of the lost civilization that taught Egypt the secrets of the stars and the art of stone. Mainstream historians dismiss it as myth, but ancient texts speak with strange certainty, and recent scans beneath the Sphinx have revealed cavities, chambers where none were thought to exist, empty space waiting to be opened. What lies beneath? Knowledge? Power? Or warnings? The desert keeps its silence, but the theories multiply. Some whisper of Atlantis, the fabled kingdom drowned beneath the sea. What if survivors of that catastrophe brought their wisdom to the Nile? What if the pyramids were their beacons, monuments to memory, machines of survival, or even time capsules meant to guide humanity when the cycle of destruction returned? Others believe the pyramids were maps. Not tombs, not machines, but markers. Stone coordinates aligned with the stars. 3 pyramids, 3 stars of Orion's belt. As above, so below. A mirror of heaven upon the earth. But why? To guide souls? To guide travelers from beyond the stars? Or perhaps to remind us of where we truly came from? And then there are those who believe the pyramids still function, that they were never meant to be opened, never meant to be understood, only to endure, machines sleeping beneath the sands, waiting for a time when they would awaken once more. Even science adds fuel to the mystery. In 2017, researchers using cosmic ray imaging discovered a vast hidden void inside the Great Pyramid, larger than the Grand Gallery, empty or filled with something we cannot yet reach. It sits there, untouched for 4,500 years or more, a space deliberately sealed, a secret deliberately kept. What is it? Another chamber? A hidden tomb? Or something no one dares imagine? And still, the greatest mystery remains. Why? Why would an ancient civilization pour their lifetimes into building mountains of stone with such precision, such endurance, and such silence? No inscriptions, no stories, no answers, only riddles carved into the desert itself. Perhaps the pyramids are more than monuments. Perhaps they are warnings. Stone messages left for a future humanity, one destined to forget its origins. Perhaps their message is this: we were here, we knew the stars, we conquered stone, and we left this behind, because one day you too will need to remember. And so the pyramids endure, not as tombs, not as treasures, but as eternal questions. Every stone is a puzzle. Every shadow hides a truth. And the desert waits, patient, guarding its last revelation. Will we unlock it in our lifetime, or will the sands keep their silence, as they have for thousands of years? The answer lies buried still, somewhere beneath the sands of Giza, waiting, watching, enduring, for the pyramids were not built to be understood. They were built to last, and perhaps to remind us that history itself has secrets we are not yet ready to face. And so we leave the giants of Giza not with answers, but with questions, because sometimes the greatest mysteries are not meant to be solved, only remembered.